hmm Now, you mentioned before you were getting people calling about RVs as well.
Exactly. That's why I changed the name to, you know, uh, identify the business a little bit better.
Yeah.
I would get calls. Do you sell RVs or do you finance RVs?
Yeah.
I said, I need to change the business name.
So,
Be Nice Individuals Podcast.
hey, folks, this is Thaddeus on the Be Nice Individuals podcast, which is hosted here at the Flagler Voice Podcast Studio. I have a very special guest in the studio. It's Rachel from the Preferred Bookkeeping and Tax Services LLC. It's a very interesting company. Started in New Jersey. It's here in Palm Coast now. We're going to talk about it. Rachel, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, so we just had like a little brief moment of technical difficulties, but it was funny because we were like rocking and rolling, and there was like a flicker of the power, and I think it has to do with the rain or something. But Rachel, you were killing it.
Let's see if we can pick up again.
We can pick up exactly where we stopped. So, Rachel, it started in New Jersey. You had mentioned before that you were born in New York in the Bronx. You had told me, though you don't have any real experience in New York because you were so small, but New Jersey is where you had experience. Now, Preferred Bookkeeping and Tax Services. Tell me what that is and tell me the origins.
Preferred Bookkeeping and Tax Services is a service-based company that helps business owners, not board members of nonprofit organizations and individuals just reach their desired goals. And we accomplish this by a meaningful conversation, finding out what is it that their goals are. Um, Prior to moving to Florida, in New Jersey, the business name was RB Financial Services.
Yeah.
And the reason why, well, first, because of my initials, and I was at that point offering not only bookkeeping and tax services, but also I had my investment licenses and also as licenses as an insurance agent. But
Oh, wow.
after a while, I just dropped those other two services. It was a little bit too much to specialize more in the bookkeeping arena.
Yeah.
So what brought me to Florida was that in 2013 I remarried, and my current husband had retired and was living in Orlando.
Now, you mentioned before you were getting people calling about RVs as well.
Exactly. That's why I changed the name to, you know, identify the business a little bit better.
Yeah.
I would get calls. Do you sell RVs or do you finance RVs?
Yeah.
I said, I need to change the business name.
So,
So.
what got you into it? Like, what's the origin of it?
Yes, I think that it all started with just watching my grandfather as a business owner back in Puerto Rico. I would spend summers in the mountains
Oh,
where
wow.
he lived, and
Cool.
and the community that he served, and just watching him, with that. He was a well-respected person, and very involved with the community, and back then you would come and get your groceries on an account.
Oh,
They
okay.
had a
Yeah.
big ledger book, and
Yeah, yeah.
it would pay as you were able to pay. And then right after high school, I started working for a finance company, and then I worked at banks. And then a friend mentioned to me one day that they were looking for a bookkeeper and for an investment advisory firm, and I was there 18 years. And then I started my own practice in 2003.
That's cool. I
So
I imagine though, did you say it was your uncle?
my grandfather.
Grandfather, your
Yes.
grandfather, he was super organized. And I feel like when I think of bookkeeper, I think of somebody that's meticulous, they're super organized, and that just kind of rubbed off on you, and you had no choice really. Like,
Yes.
like he influenced you to such a degree. Because was it the summers you spent there
We
in the
would spend
mountains?
summers, my brother and
That's
I,
cool.
yes. They're
Yeah.
very memorable, that really shaped me. And yes, numbers, you have to love them.
Yeah, yeah.
And very, very linear in my thinking.
hmm
I think that that's common in people that work in this industry.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And there's people out there that have different businesses and they're good at one thing and they need to delegate other things that they're not good at to someone else, such as numbers. If they're not good at that sort of thing, delegate it over to you guys, hire you guys to do that for them. Because I believe business is more successful when you can focus on what you're good at. And of course, you believe the same. Send them to Rachel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, we're experts at what we do, which
Yeah.
is bookkeeping.
Yeah.
You know, and but we also work with other professionals, where we can help our clients, you know, and refer them to, you know, a CPA or, you know, IT person or legal counsel whenever that's needed.
Hmm.
Yes.
So, what would you say is your purpose? What this is like for me, every day that I wake up, I find that there's some type of impact that I want to make. And I often ask different business owners, like, what is your purpose? What is your impact that you're trying to accomplish? Is there something like that for you when you wake up each day? This is how you're going to impact the community and the world at large.
Our purpose is to help our business, you know, our clients run their business and organizations with no surprises.
Yeah.
And you say, what does that mean? Well, no surprises means to be organized
Yeah.
and to plan. I can remember real clearly this past tax season when I gave the bad news to a client, if you want to call it bad news, that they owed thousands of dollars to the IRS.
Yeah.
And the look on the person's face, and that for the next 10 minutes kept repeating, I owe that much, I owe that much. Well, when we pre-plan and pay in during the year in estimated taxes, we will avoid those types of surprises. So
Yeah.
that's just an example.
Yeah. Was that like a new client that came on board or whatnot?
It wasn't new.
Mhm.
And as I mentioned, one of the things that we do is we plan by saying, okay, the prior year, this is what is an estimate of
Yeah.
what should be paid in, so that when next year file your tax returns, most of the taxes have been submitted.
Yeah.
That's just an example of what I'm referring to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to not have surprises in business. In life, some surprises are good. Business, not so much. like you want everything tight, buttoned up. You should be able to expect this amount of revenue. Hopefully the employees come to work on time and do what they're supposed to do. If we could, that's one of the big things right now, finding laborers and stuff like that. But if you can have everything just flow seamlessly, that's good business. So
Yes.
yeah, you agree. Absolutely.
Well, and one of the purposes that we have in how we run our business is to speed up our outcomes or our deliverables, as we call them, by slowing down.
Okay.
And I recently heard that, and I pondered on that. And I says, how do we do that?
Speed up by slowing down.
We speed up in the workflow, if you will, by using technology, but we slow it down by really sitting down and listening,
Yeah.
taking the time to plan.
Yeah.
And then so that we can have better outcomes.
So we had kind of touched on this a second ago, but I want to make sure that we covered it in its entirety. So why would a person want to use preferred bookkeeping and tax services? I believe it's because when you specialize in something, you don't have to worry about it. But was there anything else that you wanted to say on that topic?
I think that the reason why a business owner would seek our service, it would be one of the reasons might be to save time.
Yeah.
Another reason might be to save money, to help with problem solving, and also to spread that risk.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is that when you hire someone, and talking about taxes, when you hire someone to do your taxes, you're spreading the risk. And I mean by that the person that is preparing the return has certain responsibilities to do the work correctly.
Yeah.
Responsible for signing off on that return. But then the individual or the business owner also needs to assume their responsibility and making sure that everything is done correctly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. And I love that, if you're spreading risk, that you don't have to be just responsible for everything yourself. And that's can be kind of a barrier, though, I imagine, though. As a business owner, sometimes they want to do everything themselves, but obviously they shouldn't. They should send out stuff that they aren't the best at so that they can be more efficient and they can save time. And by saving time, they can make money at what they're good at. That sounds kind of what you're saying with saving time.
Right, and sometimes we feel it all boils down to the value that we place on services. So, for instance, a barber services are not valuable to my husband.
Yeah.
Why? Because
He's bald.
no, because
Okay.
he cuts his own hair.
Oh, okay.
So the barber's not doesn't provide a value to him.
Yeah.
For one of my sisters, the nail salon person is not valuable to her because she does her own nails.
Okay.
So that's
okay.
just an example.
Okay. That makes sense. I fully expected you to say yes. My husband is bald because that made perfect sense to me.
He learned to cut his hair years ago.
Okay.
When he started, he makes me laugh because when he started paying, I think when he got to $10,
He said, "No, we're done. I'm cutting him."
myself.
Yeah.
That's funny, but
Interesting. This is kind of a tangent. I've only had my hair cut once in my life by a professional barber.
really.
Yeah, and we probably get along real well. Me and your husband. I just cut my hair all off.
Okay.
Just take it all off. It's
Yes,
easy. It's
yes.
it's simple. It's simple.
Exactly.
But tell me about your team and how you guys handle the day to day.
Yes, we're a team, including myself, a team of 4.
Uh-huh.
And we speak 3 languages, English,
Whoa.
Spanish, and Portuguese.
That's cool.
So that is very helpful.
Yeah.
Because we can, service, more clients.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's great.
At their level of understanding.
Sure.
And we use client portals, secure, encrypted to help us with our workflow and communications with our clients.
Yeah.
And we are all remote workers.
Nice.
And we work as a team. We're connected through chats all day long,
Yeah.
and we communicate with our clients and give them that space to also reach out to us by virtual meetings, and when needed we also have an office that we can by appointment they come for an in-office appointment, or in-person appointment I should say.
I gotcha.
Yes.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Remote work is so huge now that it saves money. It saves, space as well. And a lot of people, I imagine now, because of kind of what's happened in the last couple of years, they might even prefer to meet remotely, so they don't have to go into an office. But I don't know.
Yes.
It's more of a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially the younger generation.
Mhm.
They're used to that. I think that one of the major benefits of remote work in what we do is that the focus.
Yeah.
We have less interruptions.
Yeah. So tell the people about how they can reach out and contact you so that they can take advantage of different services that you guys offer.
Yes. The best way to reach us is by going to www.preferred-books.com and clicking on the tab to schedule discovery session, 20-minute free consultation meeting, and there we can see if we can help, or by calling 386-627-8300.
That's fantastic. I'm going to actually throw that information probably on the screen somewhere.
Okay.
Somewhere like right here, folks out there, audience. It's, I don't know, somewhere in here. But folks out there, look, if you're a business owner, you need to focus on what you're good at. Delegate other tasks to people that are good at those things. That way you can save time. But when you're saving time, you're making more money. Okay? And Rachel at Preferred Bookkeeping and Tax LLC, Tax Services LLC, she's the perfect company to reach out to for those services. Remember, they speak 3 languages there at that office: English, Spanish, Portuguese. It's huge. There's some Portuguese influence here in this community. So make sure you guys reach out, take advantage of her services. She has contacts with other professionals as well if you need that, IT professionals, attorneys, that sort of thing. So make sure you guys reach out to Preferred Bookkeeping and Tax Services LLC. And also remember, guys, this studio, the Flagler Voice, is a space where people can come and rent out time. If they're a business owner, if they're an individual, both that have ideas or they want to shout out their business, anything like that, political candidate, they want to maybe connect with their audience, we have call-in features here where they can directly interact with their constituents. Perfect opportunity to have more reach and impact. Again, this has been Thaddeus on the Be Nice Individuals podcast, which is hosted here at the Flagler Voice podcast studio. And I'll see you next time.